All right, 50 seconds, you ghouls. 50 seconds. Thirty seconds. $15. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll it out, everybody. Good morning. Happy Halloween. Full intention to have my costume on, but all of our costumes are up in Mason's room, so it wasn't about to wake up the beast. Oh, Driscoll, what are you going to be for Halloween? I see you wear your mask this morning. All right, guys, get those legs moving. Got to earn all that candy you're going to eat later. So we're starting our technical phase. We're backing down the effort a little bit. You'll notice the TSS a little lower. We're going to start really working on how we're moving throughout these sessions. I was going to drop the power on the 5-minute efforts that are in the main set. But then I thought we have some people racing still. So we're going to keep the power up for those athletes. But if you're not racing, we'll talk about this as it gets closer. We're going to hit that down arrow. Make sure we're doing the main set correctly. Because I really want to get efficient, make sure we're moving the way we should be moving every single pedal stroke. Right now, we're just getting the legs going. Driving those knees, relaxing the lower leg. Oh, there's a pincher bug right under my bike. Get out of here. I'm looking at you. Get out. I got it. I got it. Gone. I can't look at that thing all work out. All right, he's gone. We can live another day. Why? Jeez. You're like Jack Hanna over here, Aronson. Insects everywhere. All right, so we're slowly building through this 5 minutes. Let's get the blood going. Body warmed up, aerobic engine moving. We're getting some one-legged pedaling drills here in about 3.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes. And there's going to be a weekly staple going forward. We're going to work one-legged pedaling into at least one of our sessions. Now, there's no all-stars in one-legged pedaling. It's not how many watts you can put out. Am I right, Emily? Hi, Emily. It's about the efficiency and taking out that opposite leg to act as a spot. As a spot, as I mean, if there's any inefficiency and you're pedaling with your left leg right now with both feet, pedaling with your left leg, if there's any inefficiency, pedaling with that right leg makes up for it. Spots it through the pedal stroke. So by the one-legged pedaling, we take that opposite leg out, isolate the pedaling leg, and see how smooth that pedal stroke is, how efficient it is without the help of the other leg. The more we do it, the better you get at it. Because ultimately, we want to be pedaling each leg independently of each other. Left leg is efficient as your right, right is efficient as your left. So we'll work on that here. We'll back it down here in about 20 seconds. Regroup, get a drink. Don't get into our one-legged pedaling. So the way we do it is we do left leg first, unclip your right. Pedal with only your left leg for a minute. Then we're going to clip in our right leg. Pedal with both legs for 1 minute. Repeat the process on the right side. Should be a ghoulish good time. Hope everybody has their candy buckets ready. I know Madeline does. Girl's been waiting for Halloween for 364 days. All right, so we're not going to do this in your TT position if you're on your TT bike. We're going to do this sitting up. So we got to make sure our weight stays back. You're hunkered down in the saddle. As usual, your knee is straight up and down. And I don't want you favoring one side or the other. I want your hips square to the front, shoulders square to the front. Same as usual. If I looked at you from the waist up, it'd be as if you weren't riding because your upper body's still and stable on that saddle. Cadence, probably in the 70s. So unclip our right, pedal only with your left foot here in about 10 seconds. Relax your lower leg. 5, 3, 2, 1. Unclip that right, let it hang to the side. Hips stay square to the front. Wiggle your toes, release your ankle. Float that knee up on the back of the pedal stroke. Drop the heel, pull the heel under, float the foot up, float the foot through the top. Knee is straight up and down. Weight's back on the saddle. Very light pressure on your hands. 3, 2, flip in your right foot. Power comes up slightly. But now we ingrain that same technique as we clip in that right foot. Stay focused on your left. Keep that same feel you had when you were unclipped. Staying just as efficient with that left leg. All right, so now we're gonna unclip our left leg, pedal only with your right. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now, if you're having a tough time with this, I want you to hit the down arrow on Zwift. Take some power off and do it right. If there's a bunch of clicks in your pedal stroke, if your cadence is dropping extremely low, if you feel yourself fighting it, your knee is knocking in and out, you're swaying, you're molesting your bike, if you will. Don't be afraid to hit that down arrow. I need you guys to do this correctly. So nice, smooth, click-free pedaling. If you hear a click, your bike isn't broken. That's an inefficient pedal stroke. 3, 2, 1. Click in that left foot. And what's happening is when you're transitioning from quadrant to quadrant, the rigidity in your lower leg is causing the pedal squares. Boop, 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 boop. And that boop is a click. I guess I could have said click, 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 click. Probably would have been a better sound effect. Click, 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 click. You loosen that ankle, loosen that foot, relax your calf. You have nice smooth transitions from quadrant to quadrant. All right, left foot only. Let's try and bring our cadence up a little higher than the last round. That momentum comes from the knee. 3, 2, 1. So cadence, try and bring it up into the 80s without fighting it. Drive your knee down, float it up. Drop your heel, pull it under, float your foot up, float it through the top. Good, guys. Good work. Everybody's looking super stable in those saddles. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So you look at some of these pro cyclists, they weigh 115 pounds, but they can put up 7 watts per kilogram and sustain it for 30, 40 minutes. 7. Look at what you guys are doing on the right-hand side. Most of us are maybe at 2 right now. 2.0. These guys sustain 7. But they're 115 pounds soaking wet, some of them, 125. Sure, they're strong, they're powerful, but their efficiency is spot on. They're making the most of every single pedal stroke, getting every watt out of each pedal stroke. Right foot only in 5, 3, 2, 1. Bring that cadence into the 80s if you can. Don't be a hero. If you need to hit the down arrow, do it. Do it correctly. I need you to get the feel for what amazing efficiency is. Keep the hips square to the front. That knee straight up and down. There's no knocking in or bowing out. Ten seconds. Any clicks, you're tensing up. You're letting the fatigue add up and add tension. 2, 1. Click in that left foot. Focus on your right. You're going to get in your TT position. Now's the time to do it. in these between sets with both legs. But just because we're pedaling with one leg doesn't mean we work any harder. Feel that fatigue building, you start to think, hey, things might go a little south on this last round. Hit the down arrow, come down to 90% on Swift. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. Try and get your cadence quicker every 20 seconds. You might be in the 70s right now. Lower legs relax, wiggle your toes, release your calf. Let's bring our cadence up a little bit. Drive your knee with a little more momentum. Try to bring your cadence into the 80s. Keep that hip flexor relaxed, guys. And one more time, try and bring your cadence up again. Come on. High 80s, low 90s maybe. But if there's any clicking, you got to back it down. Three, 2. Clicking that right foot. Focus on the left. Real nice, guys. All right, last one coming up. Now, most of us are right side dominant. I mean, we'd say, hey, we're going to be better with our right foot than our left. Not the case. 5 seconds. Unclip your left in 2, 1. You tend to muscle your dominant side a little more. Muscling doesn't work in cycling. You got to relax and work that efficiency. Gotta shut the fatigue down by bringing it back to mindfulness. Focus on the process. Keep the knees straight up and down. Keep those glutes engaged. Really hunker down in your saddle. That's your stability point. 3, 2, 1. Flipping that left foot. One more minute with both feet before we back it down. Did you ever have a non-cyclist feel your bike seat and say, how the hell do you ride on that thing? It is so hard and stiff. That's got to be the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. Little do they know that we're striving for uncomfortableness, unlike most of the population. But they feel it and they say, that thing is so hard. How can you sit on that for 20 seconds, let alone 5, 6, 7 hours? 2, 1, back it down. So the reason our saddles are so stiff and have minimal padding is because we need to use the saddle as the foundation, where we really hunker down, and that's where we drive our power off of, because that saddle allows us to tap into our core, which is the powerhouse of the body. That's where everything originates, in your core. So that stiff saddle where we really can, like I said, hunker down into it and use that platform as the driving force, as the platform, as the foundation that allows us to drive the force. That's what we want to get into, that feel. And I've used this example in the past. We've all done bench press, where you lay down and you press that weight straight up. And that bench is always nice and hard. It's stiff. To use as that foundation to press the weight up. Imagine if you were on a foam pad trying to press that weight up. All the weight is you don't have the strong foundation. You're sinking into the foam pad, trying to press that weight straight up. It's going to be a lot harder to generate force if you have a mushy foundation. Wow, we could use that in so many different examples. All right, guys, so here's the deal. If you have racing coming up in the next 4 to 6 weeks, you can keep the power where it's at. You're right, Jordan. Everybody's getting ready for the candy high they're going to experience throughout the day. Nobody's chatting, which is good. We're all focused on how we're moving and not how our lips are moving, how our legs are moving, our bodies, and not our lips. If you're not racing in the next 4 to 6 weeks, you have the option of dropping this down to 90%. Hit that down arrow to 90. So your max effort in these 5-minute efforts will be 90%. What we're going to do is we're going to start at a cadence of 85 to 90 at 80% effort for most of us, 70 or some of us, 70% effort for some of us. 3, 2, 1. So we're at 80%, cadence 85 to 90. So not too quick, but quicker than race pace cadence. Every minute, we're going to come up in effort by 5%. And we're going to bring our cadence up 5 RPM. Now we're working efficiency of the pedal stroke by going up. And I want you to be able to complete each 5-minute effort at a super high cadence. So that's why I'm saying, if you can't do that, let's make sure we hit that down arrow a little bit. Don't pay attention to the cadence on screen. 2, 1. Bring your cadence up, 90 to 95. Slight increase in cadence, slight increase in effort. Take it 1 minute at a time. Now think about that one-legged pedaling. Channel that feel you had when isolating the leg to this pedaling with both legs. Don't let one leg work more than the other. Three, 2, 1. 90%. Bring your cadence up again. Light on your feet, driving your knees. Lower legs relaxed. Some of us are 90%, some of us are at 80%, depending if you hit that down arrow or not. Come on, guys. Lighten your feet. Drive your knees. Hunker down in that nice, stable saddle. Two, one, 100 to 105 cadence. Come on. Watching me, I'm at 102 right now. Don't fight it. If you were one-legged pedaling, would you be clicking? If it's something you can't shut off, hit the down arrow until you can do it right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Bring it up. 105 to 110. Sure, those knees are straight up and down. Floating those feet up the back. Wiggle your toes, relax your ankle. Ten seconds. 2, 1, spin it out. Good. All right, how'd that go, guys? Did you stay efficient? Did you keep it smooth? Were you fighting the bike? Were you fighting the pedal stroke? For the next couple months, we got to put the ego on the side. We got to learn to do it right. Oh yeah, you're going to come out of this fitter because we're going to build, but it's a different type of build as opposed to our race ready build. I want to be technically sound by the time we get to our foundation phase. Good alignment. With your knees, be generating amazing force each and every pedal stroke because of our efficiency within the pedal stroke. And we're going to learn to use the bike the fullest of its ability by maximizing our stability on the bike. We're riding it like Peloton all over the place, moving side to side, not letting that momentum that you're generating move you forward as with as much power as it can every single pedal stroke, because you're losing momentum side to side. Even the slightest bit, we're wasting energy and burning time on course. All right, so this next one, we're going to start with our cadence in the 70s. 3, 2, 1. Some of you guys are starting at 80%. Some of us are starting at 70%. Bring that cadence down, guys. Come on. Slow your feet. Now, nothing changes efficiency-wise. Knees are still straight up and down, lower legs relaxed. Wiggle your toes, relax your ankle. Stabilize on that saddle. Keep the cadence low. 3, 2, 1. Keep that cadence, 65 to 75. We've come up 5% in effort. Cadence hasn't changed. Now, if you're doing it right, you feel the glutes turning on. If you're leaning too far forward, you're going to feel it in the quads and the knees, especially at the lower cadence. 3, 2, 1. Come up 5% again. Cadence stays low. You guys are doing well. Keep it up. Very light resistance on the front end. Feel that stability on the saddle. How you're using that to generate power. 3, 2, 1. Come up 5%. Keep the cadence low. Good, guys. Good. Don't lean forward into the front of those legs. Keep the weight over the bottom bracket. Soften your elbows. Wiggle your fingers. Drop your shoulders. All right, for our last effort here in a minute, for the last minute, we're going to drive our knees and bring our cadence up. Stay seated to bring the cadence up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Stay seated. Come on. Good. See how you had to use that stability on the saddle to drive those knees to add momentum? Perfect. Now we keep that cadence up for the remaining 30 seconds. Release your calf. Three, two, one. Easy. Good. So as we fatigue mentally and physically, the mind starts to wander. We start to lose focus on the process. And that's where we get ugly. We want to instill that even if your mind wanders, we want to instill those correct movement patterns in your execution. We want to change those impulses and synapses, as O'Driscoll would call it. Yeah. So that even when you're not thinking, or your mind wanders to how many Kit Kats you're going to eat later, you're still moving in the right direction. I get excited whenever I see someone put a Reese's peanut butter cup in Madeline's bucket. Because I go, no, that's one more for Dad. Getting that thing stolen out of there in 2 seconds. What happened? What happened to my peanut butter cup? I don't know. I think a ghost took it. All right, guys. Round 3, let's assess that fatigue. Make sure you're doing it right. Hit that down arrow if you need to. We're going to start low cadence again. 3, 2, 1. Bring that cadence down. Slow your feet, guys. Slow your feet. Get out of that comfort zone. But I don't want you mashing. I don't want you muscling the pedal stroke. I want the momentum coming from the knees. Nice, fluid, efficient pedaling. Like Emily said, no yanking those pedals up. Float the knee up, relax the hip flexor. Three, keep the cadence there. 2, 1, come up 5%. Remember, if you guys join the Sunday ride, every Sunday, race prep ride, Indian Wells, Arizona, Cozumel, where we talk about racing tactics, nutrition, pacing, execution, answer questions. You have a race coming up. We're doing a majority of these rides in that TT position. Keep the cadence low. Let's come up 5%. Just because you guys go into that TT position doesn't mean we forget that efficiency. Weights back on the saddle. Knees are straight up and down. Lower legs relaxed. Floating that foot up the back, releasing your hip flexors. Dropping the heel at the front. Engaging the glutes. All right. We're going to stay in the saddle. Bring your cadence up. 3, 2, 1. Drive your knees. No standing. Came up 5%. Give yourself 15, 30 seconds. Bring that cadence into the 90s. But you're not fighting it. You're relaxing it up. Very nice, everybody. Keep it up. Keep that cadence there. One more bump. 2, 1. Come up. Keep the cadence up. Light on your feet. Drive the knees down. Float them up. Come on. Move your legs, guys. Come on. Halloween duo is moving their legs. Yeah. You can't get your cadence up. Your efficiency is lacking somewhere. You're adding tension where there should be no tension. 3, 2, 1. Spin it out. Very sad to say there's no Halloween this year. Not that I can ever go because I have a 3.5-year-old and 2-year-old, 1.5-year-old, but I love the pictures. I thrive off those photos. It's Michael. Michael, we're sad there's no Halloween. You're spotlighted. Smile, Craig. Give everybody a ghoulish face. Give everyone a ghoulish face. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a scary face. Yeah. Good work. Oh, there it is. All right, nice work, guys. Keep taking it one at a time, focusing on the process within each. You need to turn your ERG off. Between 5-minute efforts, turn it off. Spin it out. All right, so you guys notice the pattern. This time we go 2 minutes low cadence, 3 minutes high cadence. Staying equally efficient, low and high. Take mental note of how you're feeling at the cadence, because this is feedback I want to hear today on the 2 p.m. call about what went right, what went wrong. Because if you're feeling something that maybe you shouldn't be feeling, or you're clicking in an area that you just can't figure it out, I want to talk about it. Because if you're having that problem, most likely other athletes are having that problem. All right, low cadence. Here we go, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring your cadence down. Feel out that fatigue, guys. Don't be afraid to take a log off. Bring that cadence down. Come on. Done this before, but if you have a hard time feeling the stability on the saddle, sit up, melt into your saddle, feel that stability and how it's aiding you driving the knees. And then when you're ready, get back into your riding position with that same stability. Keep your cadence low. 2, 1. Let's come up 5%. Make sure we're floating those knees up the back, relaxing your hip flexors, floating them through the top. I don't want you trying to gain extra watts by yanking those knees up, stressing those hips, tearing a labrum in there. We don't want that. We want to treat our hips with TLC. All right, we're going to stay seated. We're going to bring our cadence up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Drive your knees. Good. Good. Nobody got up. Emily, we have them trained well. Nobody's cheating. All right, slowly bring that cadence into the 90s. Light on your feet, don't fight it. Release your ankle, guys. Drive with the knees. Keep the cadence right there. 2, 1. Effort comes up 5%. I'm seeing some swaying as we fatigue. Stabilize in the saddle. You're losing efficiency if you're moving back and forth. Upper body should be relaxed. And you don't stabilize by stiffening. You stabilize by relaxing. Three, let's bump it. 2, 1, cadence stays. Come on. Relax that upper body. Melt into the saddle. 3, 2, 1. Easy. So like I said, as we fatigue, our tendency is to tense up and try harder. That's where that swing is coming from. Gripping the bars. Ugh, I gotta stabilize. So I'm gonna channel my inner statue. Think about someone learning to drive. Sienna, Middleton. Middleton's daughter, Sienna's learning to drive. She's driving, all tense, white knuckling the wheel. Something happens. Really jerky, right? She looks over her shoulder. Oh, I gotta move this way. I gotta move this way. Go move this way. You look at me back in high school, 1985 Grand Prix, bench seat, velour, tan interior. It's like I'm driving around in a couch, arm up, hand over the steering wheel. Just relax. Anything happens, you just go with the flow. Oh, that guy cut me off? Oh, I'll just move over here. No big deal. Right? Feet are working. Upper body. Around my best girl sitting next to me on my bench seat as I'm cruising around in my 85 Grand Prix. It was gold. Gold Grand Prix, tan velour interior. You want to channel your inner high school Jim, driving around nice and relaxed, letting the feet do the work, letting the legs do the work, and not your inner Sienna Middleton, who's all tense. So I gotta try harder. Relax. Chill out. The harder you try, the more you gotta relax. O'Driscoll, Channel O'Driscoll driving his Model T back in the day.
Yeah, with a dime bag in the ashtray and a fifth of Jack in the back seat.
That's it. That's how you do it. All right, low cadence to start. 1 minute low, 4 minutes high. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Just relax, guys. Melt into the saddle. Let the legs do the work. Visualize that velour interior. Cadence down. Just breathe. Nice. Okay, we got good stability. Good relaxation. Let the knees create that momentum. All right, here we go. Stay seated. 2, 1. Let's bring our cadence up. You don't have to get there right away. Slowly build that foot speed. Bring your cadence into the low 90s. Your point of focus are your knees. Everything else is relaxed. You're in the low 90s cadence-wise. Now we're going to keep that cadence there as the pressure increases. 2, 1. You can't keep the cadence up. Hit the down arrow. I need this cadence high. Nobody's mashing. We don't look to the finish. We stay focused on the present. Whether it's 2 minutes or 20 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Keep the cadence. Think about your left leg. Pedaling efficiently. Focus on your left leg for 30 seconds. All right, focus on your right leg for 30. One more bump and power. Stay on that right leg. Cadence up. Move over your left leg for 15. Smooth pedaling. Move over your right leg. Good. Stay on that cadence. Bring it up if you can. Drive your knees. Three, 2, 1. Back it down. Very nice. You stay present, focus on the process. That hour flies by. I want you guys getting off and being as mentally fatigued as you are physically. You're so dialed into how you're moving. Every second you're on the bike. We need to come out of this block getting more bang for your buck per pedal stroke. We're not just a 5-year-old who gets on the bike and pedals to go to Danny Frankfurt's house to eat Doritos and play Nintendo. We get on it with a purpose. Every session we have to improve. And then for those of you riding outside on the weekend or taking part in our race preparation series, we apply everything we're working on here to that race day feel, race day mindset, race day execution, or outdoor feel, outdoor execution. So happy Halloween. Be safe out there. Don't eat any, what did it used to be? Apples with razor blades in them was old wives' tale. Is that what it was? You don't want to check all your apples before you eat them. Might be a razor blade in there. Don't take candy from a baby. Is that one of them? Happy Halloween, everybody. Have some fun. We got our 2 p.m. call today. Jerry will be wearing a mask during the call, so don't miss that one. Talk about this new phase of training we're entering, how to adapt the training if you have races left, and all the other good educational stuff that we always talk about at 2 p.m. So join us at 2. See you guys there. Really fun session. We're getting into a fun period of training where we can really focus on becoming better at our individual disciplines. So let's take it serious, stay focused, make sure we're working that mental fitness along with our physical fitness. Love you guys. I'll see you at 2 p.m. Later.